Hello, investors and traders. Today's video will cover bold predictions for 2024 and the strategies to profit in the stock market using analytics, historical data, financial information, and technical analysis. Just for the record, those who have been following our channel for the past year and a half have witnessed recommendation in gains in artificial intelligence sector and further strong bullish claims in the Magnificent Seven. Specifically in our last video, 2 days before NVIDIA's earnings announcements, we recommended buying into NVIDIA before earnings. We have also been investing in NVIDIA through videos telling you to buy a NVIDIA every time the dip happens for over a year and 2 months now. As you know, we have been very bullish and been telling people to buy on the dips for over a year and 2 months. Congratulations to those who capitalize on this information. Today, we will make some pretty bold predictions and how to profit on those predictions. Disclaimer, the information presented on our channel is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered a substitute for professional financial advice. Do your own homework. The mantra for 2024: and miss predictions of a bear market or a bull market. Both will miss the mark this year. In 2024, success will hinge on stock selection, with most gains driven by a select few mega capitalized companies. If you find yourself in those companies or sectors, you're poised for a good year. Notably, last year's significant gains were elusive for those not invested in the Magnificent Seven. The artificial intelligence sector, particularly in semiconductor, is poised to lead the way in the stock market this year. If you're invested in this sector or explore companies supporting it, significant rewards could be in store for you in 2024. Bold prediction number 1: elections around the world will lead to a bullish year. This bullish year will not be as good as last year, but it will be between 6% and 12%. If you are individually picking companies, the securities in the artificial sector like NVIDIA, ARM, AMD, etc. will be leading the way. As we look ahead to 2024, one of our bold predictions revolves around the multitude of elections taking place globally. Approximately 40 countries are set to hold elections this year, with the United States being one of the most influential, also gearing up for its election. These elections are anticipated to bring about major policy changes and increase geopolitical friction, extending from Washington, D.C. to Taiwan. This year makes a historical high in the number of elections worldwide, with 41% of the global population set to cast their votes. The economic impact is substantially affecting a staggering 44.2 trillion of GDP. Additionally, elections are on the horizon for the European Parliament, adding another layer of significance to the global political landscape. Stay tuned as we explore the potential bullish outcomes tied to these elections and their ramifications on the world stage. Understanding why this year is expected to be a slightly bullish on a global scale involves delving into the presidential election cycle theory. Developed by Yale Hirsch, the founder of Stock Traders Almanac, this theory posts a predictable pattern in the equity market returns during each new U.S. president's term. According to the theory, U.S. stock market typically exhibit weaker performance in the first year of a presidential term. Subsequently, the recovery and reach peak in the third year, only to experience a decline in the fourth and final year. This cyclical pattern then restarts with the commencement of the next presidential election. The election cycle theory is based on the idea that shifts in presidential priorities exert a significant influence on the stock market. It suggests that markets tend to perform optimally in the second half of a presidential term when the incumbent president aims to stimulate the economy for free election purposes. Historical data from the past several decades appears to support the notion of a stock surge during the later half of a presidential term. However, the limited sample size makes drawing definitive conclusions challenging. Thus saying that we have seen last year, the third year of the presidential election cycle, excellent, very good. This year, we expect less than last year, which is historically what happens at a presidential cycle. Why does this happen? We will be mentioning this a lot of times. This is not a political channel. We are not Democrats. We are not Republicans. We're not independents on this channel. We're here to make money. Whatever president is inside the office has some influence to make this stock market go higher. And no matter what president is in office, he will try to look favorable this whole year. Imagine if we have a major sell-off this year. How will the Democrats look? How will Biden look? Let's take it on a grander stage. Imagine 39 other companies with the same dilemma. Keep the stock market in their countries high. We want to be reelected. This is not just the United States. This is on a world stage. And if you look at the whole world as the macro, it is very difficult for me to say that we will have a major sell-off this year based on the presidential election cycle. Bold prediction number 2. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I am not an independent on this video. Regardless of your political affiliations, I will give you the facts and how to profit in the stock market. The prediction stands that Donald Trump will win if he faces Joe Biden in the 2024 presidential election. The CPAC straw poll indicates a strong support for Trump, with 55% backing his agenda, potentially leading to his victory if nothing unexpected occurs. This forecast suggests a final surge and a topping out of the market in October, November, and December of 2024. However, a significant factor that could alter this prediction is the August 2024 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. If President Joe Biden is not considered the face of the party due to low approval ratings under 40%, historically signaling no chance of winning re-election, the Democrats may opt for a different candidate. This could involve negotiating the exit of Joe Biden to be replaced by figures like Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, Newsom, or others. The key question is whether Democrats will field a formal candidate capable of challenging and defeating Trump. While acknowledging Joe Biden as a good man, the outlined factors suggest challenges for his re-election. Regardless of the election outcome, it is predicted that the S&P 500 will see a 6 to 12% increase, and the NASDAQ 100 will experience an 8 to 14% rise, no matter who is elected. If Trump emerges victorious, these numbers could potentially be even higher by the end of the year. If you believe Trump will win, Digital World Acquisitions, DWAC, will be a top consideration for investing. In fact, I think this could be a good barometer who wins the election because of the close ties to Donald Trump. For the last month, this company has been surging upwards because of the fact that many straw polls and many indications lead that if Donald Trump faces Joe Biden, Donald Trump wins this time. Thus saying that, keep your political beliefs aside. No matter who wins, this will be an up year this year. Next year is a different story. Also, what to invest in is an interesting consideration. Bold prediction number 3. A new story is expected to emerge in 2025 and 2026 that could significantly impact the market, regardless of who is in office. Similar to the unexpected events of 2020, such as COVID-19 and the Lehman Brothers collapse, an unforeseen event is anticipated to trigger a market decline next year. Potential narratives could involve cyber attacks, power grid crisis, or what is believed to be a major news story, AI replacing jobs and causing widespread unemployment. Statistics indicate that around 40% of companies are considering replacing human employees with AI technology. Notably, Google is reported preparing to lay off 30,000 employees in its ad sales units as part of the transition to AI technology. The broader trend suggests that in 2024, 22% of companies may lay off up to 30% of their workforce due to artificial intelligence. While crises are inevitable, knowing how to invest during challenging times and anticipating their occurrence is key. It's crucial to navigate such situations strategically and recognize that despite the initial panic, it may not signify the end of the world, especially if you are prepared for it. I have been around a long time. I have seen many disasters that they have called the end of the world. That this is different. This is truly the worst case scenario. We will see a certain event in the year 2025 and 2026, a certain event. This is called a black swan event. Thus saying that, a lot of pundits are picking this to happen this year, but because of bold prediction number 1 and bold prediction number 2, bold prediction number 3 will happen next year. Bold prediction number 4. A new story is anticipated to emerge, triggering substantial gains in the stock market within a single day. This story is expected to continue influencing the market positively for the next few months, propelling overall indexes higher. The nature of this story could range from positive information about the semiconductor industry to favorable updates about the upcoming presidential election or any other impactful news that can cause a huge upday. Remember the year. This is a presidential election cycle, and whoever is in office, Democrat, Republican, can influence a news story. The mass media is projected to amplify and build upon this information, contributing to sustained market momentum. This phenomenon underscores the market's sensitivity to significant developments and the media's role in shaping investor sentiment based on emerging narrative. You will hear many pundits this year say this market is overbought. We are going lower in March. We are headed lower now. They are right, but not this year. There will be a news story. It could be Trump is winning the presidential election. It could be Biden has been replaced by a very good candidate that could rival Trump. It could be the end of wars. Whatever the news, there will be a news story that will be impactful and impact this market for a positive year. Bold prediction number 5. This year is poised to revolve around artificial intelligence and semiconductors. While this trend may not be everlasting, it is expected to persist at least for the intermediate term. Over the past year and 3 months, our unwavering recommendations to include QQQs, semiconductors, and particularly NVIDIA in our portfolios have yielded significant reward. Today, we are reiterating our stance on NVIDIA, AMD, and ARM Holdings. Artificial intelligence is very hot sector now, and what seems to be overbought for you will be a lot more overbought in the coming months ahead. I know this will not last forever. I know that artificial intelligence and NVIDIA will go down and go into a bear market. It's just not this year. ARM Holdings is the language and the architect to NVIDIA. AMD is the competitor to NVIDIA. Artificial intelligence and semiconductors will be leading this way and is the hottest sector and individual securities out there. In conclusion, I am very excited. And for me, the vision is clear. Elections will be held around the world by 40 countries. This has never happened ever. Because of the presidential cycle, the year of the elections is usually an up year. Thus saying that with so many countries and so many changes, the current politicians inside offices will keep this market up. In the United States, no matter what political affiliation you have, it looks like Donald Trump will win if he faces Joe Biden in the 2024 presidential election. This will give you a little extra pop if Trump wins the election, October, November, December, just a little pop. However, in August 2024, in the Democratic National Convention, if they choose somebody else than Joe Biden and they negotiate him out and have a great replacement for him and make this a runoff, things get interesting. No president has ever won a re-election with the approval rating that Joe Biden has. I am not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, and I'm not an independent for this video. This is only historical analytical information. I would look at specifically Digital World Acquisition, DWAC, to see what people really think and what Wall Street really thinks if Trump will be reelected. And right now, with the sudden upswing in price, Wall Street believes Donald Trump will be the next president. A news story will emerge in 2025 into 2026 that will drive the market lower, i.e. COVID-19, i.e. Lehman Brothers. Some story will happen that the mass media will say it is the end of the world. Will it affect us, this story? Absolutely. Will the stock market one day go up again? Absolutely. But expect this news story in 2025, 2026. What I think the story will be massive layoffs because of artificial intelligence. Sometime this year, talking about stories, there will be a good news story that comes out. And this great news story will trigger a 1 to 3 month rally in this market. I've told you for the last year and 2 months about artificial intelligence and the semiconductor, specifically led by NVIDIA. Nothing has changed for us for the next 6 months at least. We believe NVIDIA will lead the way with AMD, ARM, and other AI and semiconductor companies. This is a spoiler alert. These companies will keep the QQQs, the semiconductors, and the spiders to have a positive year this year. If this video was useful, please subscribe. You know the catchphrase. Study it, analyze it, adapt it. Peace.